Hi, this is Randy Kirk, and I'm just so frustrated I had to do one more video today. I'm being driven nuts by the continued outcry that Elon Musk just can't do his job and his board of directors is too messed up. They just can't figure out how to get things done. And so there needs to be changes in the board of directors, and Elon needs a lesson. He needs somebody out there to help him understand that, for 2 months now, maybe there's been a shortage of customers in the face of changes with the IRA coming out, in the face of the Chinese dropping some of their incentives, in the face of COVID situations in China, in the face of a war, in the face of the possibility of a major recession in the United States, either already in the process or coming. And with all of that, with 2 months of down sales, or maybe down sales, we're not even sure, maybe they were off in terms of the months and months and months that has always been true of waiting for a car, but somehow Elon and the board, they've lost their mojo and they need lessons and they need better people. This is Randy Kirk. If you like this kind of content, we're going to get in the weeds a little bit today. So if you like content that's in the weeds, please like and subscribe. If you really want to get in the weeds and you want to get excited about the future and help me write the next book, join my Patreon, because that's a dialogue in that Patreon, and we're going to talk about ways of creating something amazing coming up here in just a few years as a result of the things that Tesla is doing. It's all about Tesla. Okay, let's start with, is there any question that up until now, Tesla sold every car they can make? That in fact, there is just no way they can make, they're making as many cars as fast as they can. They're going 50% year over year on average, which is what Elon said that they would do. And the only way that they could sell more cars is if they could build more factories and make more cars, because right now they're selling every car they can make, with the exception of maybe 2 months. Comment below if this is not true. I think with the exception of 2 months, there have always been long lead times everywhere around the world. Every place that the car is in place, every place that the car is available. Is there any country left? Well, there are a few countries left where the Model Y is not the number one selling car. Does anybody question whether or not the Model Y will be the best selling car in the world next year? The number one unit sales, right now it's already number one in dollars. Is there any question that Model Y will be the number one selling car in units total for the world next year? And it isn't even in every market. It's only in about, I think, I won't count out the markets. So is there any question about that? I don't think there's any question about that. Is there any question that the Tesla has the largest margins of any car by maybe triple, except for Maserati, but traditional type, sedans, and triple the margins of the average car around the world, made by all the legacy automakers as well. And none of the new folks, except maybe BYD, are profiting on a per car basis. I think maybe okay, we'll stick with that. Okay. Now these are things that have been happening for years now, that Elon is in charge of and the board is in charge of, and they've gotten all those things right. But 2 months, for 2 months, maybe they've been off. Boy, I would hate to lose my job after that track record, because for 2 months, maybe, we don't even know all the facts, sales might be off for a couple of months. So then there's the reaction to it. The reaction to it, I've already done a couple of videos on this. I think the reaction was brilliant. It would not have been my reaction. I'm hats off to Elon. He did it again. You don't bet against this guy. He cut prices radically, which did a whole bunch of things, not the least of which was created a huge amount of headlines. You don't need advertising if you can create headlines almost every single day. If the financial publications and the automotive publications and even the regular publications are running headlines on you every day because of something that's happened within your company, you don't really need advertising. Getting that kind of editorial content is usually considered to be 10 to 20 times more valuable per inch in a newspaper magazine type setting than creating an ad. So that's happening already. Who's responsible for that? Somebody besides Elon and his board of directors? Or is there somebody else out there that's making sure that there's content every single day out there that's keeping the Tesla brand in front of people? Let's see. Could there be a Twitter thing? Is there something called Twitter that's keeping the brand in front of people every single day? Is there a platoon, a large platoon of people like me that are putting up YouTube videos every single day for free? We're not charging Tesla one dime. Thank goodness we're not charging. Thank goodness there's no kind of advertising that we're expecting from Tesla or any kind of payola from Tesla in order to say what they want us to say. Is that, that's third-party endorsements all day long by people that have tens and sometimes hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and then tens of thousands of additional people who are not subscribers who are seeing this content every single day, even hundreds of thousands every single day seeing this content. Now, Elon didn't make that happen. He didn't force it to happen, but it did happen. And it might be a reason why there's less need for all of this other potential advertising and marketing that some people are screaming needs to be done, or the board of directors should be thrown out and we need new people in to represent the retail investor. I'm going to continue to claim baloney. So now let's go just a little deeper into these weeds. Elon has two previous companies that became fairly successful. Gave him $180 million payday, $160 million payday by the time he was in his early 30s, I think 31, something like that. So the first one was Zip2. Now, does Zip2 require any marketing skill? Well, Zip2 was kind of like the first Yelp or Google business profile or City Search. In fact, City Search might be the best example, but it's a Yelp type of thing. It was designed for you to go online and find the local restaurant or the local pet store or whatever it was that you needed online, as opposed to in a Yellow Pages. And then you could call them, you could go on their website if they had one, or you could just scurry on down. It would give you directions how to get there, just like Yelp today. Now, was there any issues? Was that just so brilliant that everybody just jumped on board? Well, okay, why am I going to go? As a consumer, am I going to go to Zip.2 and look for a restaurant if no restaurants are advertising or are actually located on the Zip.2 platform? No, I'm not going to go there if every time I go there, I can't find what I'm looking for. So you need a massive amount of data uploaded onto the system, and that data has to be provided by those restaurants and pet stores, et cetera, in order to have it there, because you don't have that information. There's no information. There's no way to get that information or to put it up there in a way that makes sense. And then if you want to go get somebody you want the restaurant to please give you the information so that you now have the information or advertise, how does that happen if me, the consumer, is not going there? So you have this chicken and egg problem. So I don't know, did Elon just give up and say, oh, that's it. Oh, we need a new board of directors. Oh, would somebody please save me? No, they went out to the newspapers that said, you're going to lose your business. You're not going to have your future is over because the internet's going to take over. This is going to start eating your lunch. We need you to partner with us, and you need to be the ones to get these retailers and restaurants and whatnot to come online, and then to promote this in your newspapers. And guess what? They marketed, they got it done. And Zip2 was sold in just a few years from the time it was conceived for a very big paycheck that allowed Elon to then invest almost that entire amount of money into X.com. So X.com had a similar problem. If you're trying to have a payment system where I pay you $20 because we just had this transaction, whether I'm in front of you or whether I'm on the phone with you, or however the transaction took place, I'm not going to be interested in signing up for the system if I'm the only one on there. In fact, even if there's 100,000 people on there, but they're not the people I normally do business with, if it's not my friends, my family, my neighbors, the companies I do business with, why would I sign up? I have plenty of other ways to transact business that may not be as simple and straightforward and clean as what PayPal has became, but I need to have other people on there or it's useless. So once again, Elon gave up and he just forgot about that. No, they started offering $10 or $20 for you to sign up, and then they offered you another $10 if you got your neighbor to sign up. And that referral program went crazy, and the rest is history, which resulted in a couple, 3 years later, Elon getting a payday for 160 million. So I don't know if Elon knows anything about marketing. Maybe he doesn't. I mean, maybe he's just been lucky all these years, just keeps getting lucky over and over and over again. So that brings us to part 2. And I'm sorry, many of you may already know this, but I found over the years that most people don't. Advertising is not the same thing as marketing. You have to differentiate the two. Advertising is a subset of marketing. There's lots and lots of different parts of the marketing approach. And according to Elon, and I agree with them, marketing starts with the product. Elon has said over and over again, you have to have a compelling product at a compelling price, or you're not a company. You should do something else. That's what he said. He said it over and over again. He created a compelling product at a compelling price. And then you go out with it. Now, if you can have a compelling product at a compelling price, and if you don't tell anybody about it, it's clear you will not have any sales. I had years ago, one of the first really breakthrough products that I was dealing with was a product that stopped puncture flats in bicycles. About 98% of the time, it would stop any kind of puncture, any kind of thorn or rock or nail coming through, wouldn't get through to the inner tube and pop the tire. Now, that's a big deal, right? I mean, stopping puncture flats in bicycles. And that was in 1980. Well, I made a very good living out of that, but even though it was priced right, it was a compelling product at a compelling price, you needed to let the wholesaler know that it was available, you needed to let the retailer know that it was available, and you needed to let the consumer know that it was available. Otherwise, nobody would even bother to ask about it. So there was advertising and promoting that need to be done in order to get that product to market. And I've made a living off of bicycle style tire liners since 1980. Continue today. I have products on Amazon. I have tire liners on Amazon, one called Thornbuster and one called Rhinodillos. You can look them up. Okay, so that is the beginning of marketing. Marketing is the product and the price. Those are marketing issues. Distribution channels are marketing issues. How you sell. Do you have a sales force inside, outside? Do you have any sales force at all? Are they on the phone? Customer service. What are you doing with customer service in terms of incoming calls where people are interested in buying or they have a problem? After sales service. I mean, packaging, the way that a product is packaged, the way that it is shown in store. If there's a retail environment, in this particular case with Tesla, you have the display, the showrooms that they've set up all around the world. Marketing. How about building out your charging stations ahead of time, because you know that nobody's gonna buy an electric car if they can't get it charged other than in their garage. So you know this ahead of time. It's a marketing decision. You went out and you put in the charging stations before you started, as you were making the cars, and you set up a complete network across the country. Nobody else did that. So yeah, let's throw out Elon. Let's have him drop. He shouldn't be the CEO anymore. We need somebody much smarter than him that knows something about marketing and advertising. All right, now part 3. Let's talk about advertising. If I were if I were Techno King for a day, yeah, I'd advertise right now. I would have advertised 2 months ago when I first saw that there was going to be maybe a problem with the recession and everything else that was taking place. I would advertise into a recession. That's what I would do. I've already said this in the book, the Elon Musk mission. We talked about all the different marketing levers that could be pulled. And definitely I would be advertising right now. That's me, but it doesn't have to be Elon. Okay. I would not have dropped the price by 15 to 20%, but that's Elon. I don't for a minute think I'm smarter than Elon or that I should tell Elon what to do. I would have Super Bowl ads right this year. If I still had time, I would have created 1 or 2 or 3 Super Bowl ads. I would have talked about safety. I would have talked about performance, and I would have talked about long-term savings, long-term, the long-term value of the car over 3, 4, 5 years compared to the sticker price. Those would be the 3 things I would talk about. But maybe there will be ads at the Super Bowl. Who knows? Maybe there'll be an advertising program coming out later. But now let's say that you do advertising. Well, where do you do the advertising? Do you do it in the Super Bowl? And let's now combine that with PR. Everybody's screaming for months and months and months. Oh, they need a PR department. How come they don't have a PR department? Well, most people don't even know what a PR department does. They think, oh, the PR department puts on events, or maybe the PR department answers incoming phone calls about what's going on with the company, or maybe the PR department puts out press releases. Well, they do all those things. And they also, in the auto industry, they handhold the industry trade publications, the Road and Tracks, et cetera. And so you're out there, you're taking them to lunch and you're showing them the car and you're bringing a car over for them to drive and all that kind of stuff. The PR department has a tremendous number of things that they get involved in. Probably the PR department would be involved if there was going to be any hiring of influencers. They would probably also be used for product placements on TV and movies. So those are the kind of things PR department could do. I would probably put in a PR department if I was Techno King. I would probably do all of those things that we just discussed. It's so inexpensive as compared to the total budgets for Tesla. I would probably do all of those things, but I don't complain. I'm not sad. I don't think that Elon's making a major mistake by not having this PR department going out and doing those things. I don't think he's making a major mistake by not advertising in the trade publications like Road and Track, or advertising at the tracks, or advertising on television, et cetera, or in social media. I don't think he's making a horrible mistake. I do think that one of the most brilliant things he ever did is to become the #1 or #2 most influential person on Twitter, having the largest number of people following him, or second. I haven't heard recently if he passed Obama. But with all those people following him on Twitter, he's created a massive fan base that's waiting for him to give his next word. Another brilliant thing that he's done is he's gone out and he's gone to all these interviews where he's done long form interviews with people, with Joe Rogan, with Lex Friedman. He's done them with all kinds of influencers on the YouTube channels. He's done them around the world. He's shown up for these conferences. He sat down and he's done very transparent, very real conversations. Those are worth millions and millions and millions of dollars to Tesla in terms of marketing. They are all marketing. Well, I've done my rant. I'm sorry. I know I went in the weeds. For most of you, this is probably something that you already knew, or if you didn't know it, you didn't care. If you're in a marketing department, or if you have your own company, I hope it was instructional. Maybe it gave you a few ideas of ways that you could be marketing your products or your services that you hadn't thought of before. If you are not involved in marketing or advertising at all, maybe it was just something that was like, oh, wow, I never really knew all that. But if not, that's fine too. So once again, like, subscribe, do all those kind of things. Come back and see me again. Comment. I love the comments. So many comments, and it's so much fun. I'm trying to answer all of them. This is not always going to be possible as the channel is growing very, very rapidly. But I thank all of you for subscribing. The subscriber list has gone up like crazy. The Patreon membership is going up every single day. So thank you all for that. And it's been great talking to you.